what is mobile-first photos and why is Instagram leaning into it? This week, the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, announced that they're leaning into mobile-first photos. And this is a direct reaction to how social media is changing. We know that there was a time when square videos and square photos performed way better than horizontal or vertical content, but that era is behind us. Now we live in the era of vertical format video, and if photos are not keeping up, that could be a little bit of a problem. Now, don't panic yet. You are not changing your content yet. This is something they're trying out. They're just testing, and you may not even see this, but it's something that they're testing out. The thought process is, because we're so used to videos taking up a full screen as we're scrolling through now, anything that's going to be small, square, horizontal photos, graphics, that's not going to get people's attention. That shows a lot of negative space, that dead white space with the fonts there. That's not something people love. But when they start to see things that take up more of the space or the entire space, that's going to be more eye-catching and more show-stopping. So you right now should not be changing any of your content, but you need to start thinking forward on what this could mean. Now, we don't know what this is going to look like yet. We do not know if they're going to reposition our images to take up more of the screen. So if I post a square photo, are they going to tighten it up a little bit and make it a little bit longer? We've seen them do this in different ways before, where they've stretched things out in different ways or just cropped off little pieces to take up more space. This could be something we're looking at as well. Now, they may take it and fill the entire space, or we may see a transition in the future where we're moving more to those portrait images, the up and down, than the horizontal landscape images. So these are all things to keep in mind, but do not change your content yet. We don't know what this is going to look like, or even if it's going to go forward, because the thought process is stop the scroll, and they're testing to see if it really is going to do that. But here's what you can keep in mind. As you're creating your content moving forward, you need to keep the important things in the middle, because if they're adjusting it, or if we end up adjusting it, it could look a little bit different. It means your sides could be cropped off a little bit, or your top could be cropped off a little bit. Remember, with our grids, it's all in that square format, so it kind of needs to have the important information in the center anyway if you're using a horizontal or a vertical anything, because it's only going to be represented in that square. But as you're creating your content, you want to make sure you're keeping that in mind as well. Anything super important, your model, your words, the things that you're trying to translate to people need to be in that center. But as you're moving forward, you may want to start thinking about not just taking horizontal or square photos, but taking vertical ones as well, or setting up your image so that your model can be cropped out in a horizontal version. So you need to be keeping in mind what this could have implications on in the future, but it is not something that's going to affect you right now. If, however, you are forward thinking, like I hope you are, you're going to know that this could impact past content. So just because it's not changing things right now, it could change them in the future. And now's a great time to start adjusting for that. So as we move forward into a more mobile-friendly, mobile-first context of our internet and our social media, we want to be thinking about how we can create both vertical and horizontal content and making sure we keep the important stuff right in the middle for whatever format this is going to be, which is also really good for whenever you're using these photos or videos on your website, on your social media, on your blogs, in your articles, so that you have that flexibility to get whatever layout you're going to need for your imagery and for your videos. Now, I know this is still pretty confusing because we don't actually have answers yet. We don't know what this is going to look like. We just know that we're going to start seeing it. So as we start to see it, and again, you may not see it at all, we are going to learn a little bit more. So hit that subscribe and notification bell. I'll be breaking news every single time something happens. I'm usually the first to announce these things on the channel, so make sure you hit the notification bell while you're there so that you do not miss these episodes as I keep you up to date on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, live streaming, and more, so that we take the time commitment out of being on social so you can get back to running your business and living your best life. Drop the questions below, and I'll see you in the next episode.